What's up? Let's have a look at question 4. Question 4, it was a function question with the function of hyperbola here. Let's read the question. The question says the lines y is equals to x plus 1 and y is equals to minus x plus 3 are the axis of symmetry of g of x is equals to minus 4 all over x plus p, therefore plus q. And then they want us to show that p and q are equals to minus 1 and q2 respectively. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at 4.1. You would remember, guys, when we're talking about axis of symmetry, so this axis of symmetry, these equations generally they are given by this equation here. You are given, if they ask you to find the one for the positive gradient, this is what you would use. You would come here and say positive gradient will be minus plus x, right? Yeah, positive x minus p plus q. All right, and therefore if they ask you to find the one of the negative gradient, yeah, this is what you would do. You're going to say y is equal to negative gradient and is equals to plus p plus q. So please don't forget this because you don't have that in your formula sheet. So please, guys, remember this. This is how you would find the line of x's. So in this case, they didn't give them to us. They rather gave us these equations instead. All right. So now, this is what you would do here. You would therefore come, because you need to show that therefore you need to equate the two equations, therefore solve for x and y simultaneously. So you've got this equation here, which is equation number 1, which is x plus 1, and then you have got this one here, which is negative x plus 3, which is equation number 2. So what you can do now, you can just equate the two equations and then solve for x. Negative x plus 3. Therefore, you take x to that side and then take 1 to that side. So if you take x to that side, you're going to have x plus x, which is equals to, when you take 1 to that side, you're going to have negative 1 plus 3. So therefore, you're going to have 2x is equal to 2. Therefore, you divide by 2 on both sides. Therefore, our x would be equal to 1. All right. Okay. Right, our x will be equals to 1. Therefore, let's come here and we substitute into equation 1, sub into number 1 to find y. You're gonna say y is equals to 1 plus 1. Right, I just substituted into this equation here, so it will give us therefore y is equal to 2. All right, so therefore you know the value of x and you know the value of y. So if you were to go back into our equation, we know that x here, if it's positive, initially it needed to be negative there. So therefore you could come here and say p is equals to negative 1, and therefore q is equal to 2 as it is in this case. So now, guys, there's many ways to kill a cat. You could have used this one here to also find out, but anyway, it's fine. So this is how I just prefer us to do it. You can equate the two axes of symmetry, then you find the value of x and then the value of y. All right, the tricky part, you just have to remember here that when we take the x, it changes the sign. You need to solve for x. Right, now they said calculate the x-intercept of g. So this is now it's 4.2. This is 4.2. Right, so 4.2 says that we need to find the equation. So the equation now is going to be as follows. It's going to be negative 4 all over x. In this case, y needs to be negative, okay, so that we can have a positive. It needs to be negative here so that we can have a positive x. So it's going to be negative 1. Okay, and then you substitute the plus 2. Now they are looking for x-intercept. X-intercept, we get it when y is equals to 0. So our x-intercept will get it when g of x is equals to 0. So this is going to be equals to 0 is equals to -4 all over x minus 1 plus 2. Then we're going to take the 2 to the other side. It's going to give us -2 is equals to -4 all over x minus 1. So therefore we do cross multiply in this case. All right, we're going to cross multiply negative x minus 1 is equals to -4. Right, so therefore in this case you need to divide both sides by, or remove the bracket rather. It's fine, let's remove the bracket. Minus 2x plus 2. Even if you have divided by 2, the answer would still be the same. Minus 2x, take the positive 2 to that side, is going to give us -2 for -2. So therefore minus 2x is equals to -6. Divide both sides by -2. There you go. X would therefore be equals to +3. Okay, so this is what it means. It means our x-intercept is going to be 3:0. Those are just the coordinates there. All right, let's move right along. Moving to the next question, 4.3. All right, moving to 4.3. 4.3, they said sketch the graph of g in your book. Clearly show all the lines of asymptote and also the intercept. 4.3. Okay, here we go. This is what we are going to do. We just need to find, we did already find the x-intercept here in this case, which is 3:0. Lines of asymptotes. Remember our graph is given by g of x is equals to -4 all over x minus 1 plus 3. So therefore we need to find the y-intercept. In this case we found y-intercept when x is equals to 0. So if you were to come here into our calculator or punch this into our calculator, 0 minus 1 plus 3, we found out that the y-intercept would be -1 positive is going to be g of x is equals to 7. All right, so in this case let's come here. We just need to draw this graph. Lines of asymptotes will be x is equals to 1. So this is the graph, the part where the graph won't touch. So x is equals to 1 is here. This is x is equals to 1. This is our y, and then this is our x-axis, and therefore our y is equals to 3. No, I made a mistake here. It's not 3, guys, it's rather is 2. Our equation is 2 here, not 3. So that divided by that is going to give us 4. 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. Made a mistake here. All right, therefore our y line of asymptote will be 2. Y is equals to 2. Y is equals to 2. So now it's time for us to draw our graph. Let's draw our graph here. Let's check our y-intercept. Would have to be 6, which is somewhere here, somewhere up here. Would have to be 6. Therefore our graph would be looking like that. Okay, it wouldn't touch this line of asymptote, it will just come near it. And then also our x-intercept is what? Is 3. So therefore this would be our graph. All right, looking good. All right, guys, that will be our graph. And then now let's have a look at 4.4. 4.4 says for which values of x is g of x greater than 0. So for which values of x is this graph above the x-axis? All right, that's basically what they are asking. All right, so now if you have a look at here, from x is equals to 1 going backwards, this graph is above the x-axis. So therefore we can say for all the values where x is less than 1, the graph is above the x-axis. So if you come here, also if you look at this part, from here going there, the graph is above. All right, so now you can also say between x when x is greater than 3 at our x-intercept. Okay, and that's how you would deal with a question like this one, guys. Let me see you on the next upload where we'll be doing question 5. That video is coming right up. I am Gaston Mapala. See you there.